Good evening, and welcome to Spine-Chilling Cinema. I'm your host, Oliver the Caretaker Collins, along with my lovely co-host, the Queen of Shenanigans, Alice, and trusty as always, Cat Bubbles. And I have no idea what tonight's film is. Alice was in charge of the show tonight. It should always be like that, she says. Oh boy. Well, what do we got, Alice? Ghost Patrol from 1936. I have not seen this. Alice, I hope you've watched it. You have not. You wanted it to be a surprise. Oh, boy. Oh, man. One of the actors' name is Tim McCoy. I've heard that name before, but not... I don't think I've seen anything with him in it. We'll have to see, Alice. Oh, Alice says with the name Ghost Patrol, she is excited because she thinks maybe it's kind of like Ghostbusters. I don't know, Alice. We'll see. I am as blind as you are right now. You're not blind. Oh, okay. Anyways, going into this film, I have no idea. So we should just get the show on the road. We're not on a road. We're in a building. Oh, boy. Anyways. All right. Without further ado, we're all going kind of blind into this film from 1936. Ghost Patrol.
Where's this plane coming from?
From Los Angeles. She's due over Rocket Point in 10 minutes. Cavalry 56, eastbound, reporting. Everything working fine. Just passing over Shiloh Mountain. Altitude 6,000. Ceiling about 3,000. Heavy clouds.
Will it be all right if I talk to him?
Sure, go ahead.
Hello, Tim. This is Anderson speaking. Why don't you turn back before it's too late?
This is one time they'll find they're not handling an unsuspecting kid. I'm going to ride this out to the finish.
You won't have a chance if anything happens.
I'm hoping they do knock me down. If they do, I'll be right handy to pick up any trail they leave. On time to the minute. Cavalry, calling Los Angeles Airport.
Los Angeles Airport. Anything go wrong, Tim?
Motor just kicked out. Won't pick up.
Where are you?
About 5 miles from Rocky Point. I'm pretty close to the spot where Jimmy crashed.
Can't you set her down?
No, not a chance. An eagle might land in these rocks, but you couldn't land a ship. Caterpillar Club is going to get a new member. Now, there's going to be another dead pilot. Well, make your bets, boys. Where's she going to crash? I'll bet you $50 she cracks up within 10 feet of that big rock. $50 you're wrong. 25, she sticks her nose in that gully. You're wrong. What do you say, Frank?
That 4 aces cleaned me last night. I ain't got a dime.
Altitude fast. Tell Anderson to have the department stake out every fence in town. Keep a lookout for these bonds. There's nothing more I can do. I'm bailing out. So long.
Get a hold of the chief right away, Bill. Okay.
Well, Kim Gate, I guess you pay me. I'll pay you later. Hustle these into town. Okay, I'll call you as soon as they deliver them.
Hello, is this Union Pacific? Well, I want to make a reservation on the transcontinental flyer leaving tonight to Shiloh. What's that? Holden's flag stop is the nearest station? Well, that'll be all right. The name, it's Natalie Brent. Yes, that's right. Thank you.
Hey, it's about time Charlie's showing up, ain't it? Trying to be funny? No, but he's been gone 4 days now. Would 4 days in town be enough for you after 6 months out here?
Take that long to get filled up on the ham and eggs.
Be quiet, will you, while I do this?
ELB calling WAD. ELB calling WAD. Come on in, WAD. ELB calling WAD. ELB calling WAD. Come on in, WAD.
Your time, Raymond.
Tough luck, Blackie.
I learned to do that if it's the last thing I ever do.
Charlie's calling. He wouldn't tell me what's wrong. Seems like something's worrying him.
All right, this is Kincaid. What's on your mind beside your hair?
I cut the kid and the bonds are gone.
Gone? What do you mean gone?
I was tailed from the minute I hit town. I thought it was the feds and I laid low for 2 days.
All right, never mind that. What happened to the bonds?
I tried to deliver him to Louis this morning, but a couple of Tim Toomey's men waylaid me. And tell Dawson he's figuring on chiseling in on us.
That's what he thinks.
Well, he's heading out there right now.
What does he look like?
He's about 5 feet 9 inches tall, and he's got a...
Sound like a 6-gun.
Charlie! Charlie!
He's through talking. I wonder who done it.
Well, he was trying to warn us about Tim Toomey, wasn't he?
Charlie! Well, I don't know what Toomey looks like, but it's going to be mighty unhealthy for any stranger that shows up around here.
Is he dead?
No, most of them got him in the shoulder. He'll pull through. Take care of him till I call the ambulance. Henry. Looks as though we're going to have company. You better keep under cover. Pretty optimistic, aren't you, trying to hitchhike on a road like this?
Oh, no, that thought never entered my mind.
Well, I beg your pardon. I should have known you don't look like the usual run of hitchhiker.
Yeah, you see, you know,
Well, hitchhikers don't usually spend their time sitting around on rocks, do they?
well, some of us do. You see, there are all sorts of ways to do it. There's really quite an art to it. For instance, the ordinary way. And then there's the careless way, which of course means nothing, but there's a commanding way that can go on indefinitely and nothing ever happens.
Well, which do you find the most successful?
Well, I usually like this one. Are you going my way, mister?
But speaking of going places, which way are you going?
Well, I'm going any way at all, but preferably straight ahead.
That's the way I'm going. Want to get in?
Thank you. Oh, no, don't bother. You see, I've climbed over a lot of wheels. I've really done an awful lot of riding in. Well, wait just a minute.
That's all right.
Double station.
Well, you're coming up in the world now.
Well,
There you are. You'd be more comfortable if you tossed that in the back.
Well, at least I'd be able to hold on.
You're from the east, aren't you?
Yes, I am, but I was born in the West.
Straight quite a ways off the beaten track. Where are you going?
Straight ahead.
Oh, I see. mosquitoes are pretty thick, aren't they?
Really? I hadn't noticed it.
The sun's getting pretty hot.
I don't mind it as much as the mosquitoes.
Whoop. Careful there, Henry. Careful.
Oh, my suitcase.
I say, would you mind giving me my suitcase? I think it'll be a little safer up here.
I thought we might see some of the wreckage of that plane that cracked up here last week. 10 people were
We're
killed.
near Shiloh, then.
Yes, but if you're expecting anyone to meet you there, you're going to be disappointed.
Well, I'm not going to Shiloh. I remember reading about 2 planes cracking up in this section.
You know, Shiloh's a kind of a ghost town. When Brent closed down the silver mines down there, the entire population moved out overnight. Hasn't been anyone there in years.
Well, this is as far as I'm going. Thanks very much for the lift.
You think I ought to follow her?
No. When I mentioned Brent's name, she almost gave herself away. She's probably here for the same reason we are.
Hey, fellas!
I never saw him before.
Hi, Sander. Hi, boys. Mind if I get down and visit a little?
Keep your hands where we can see him.
I was just going to tie my lines.
Well, that ain't necessary. Get out of that wagon. Get his guns, Raymond.
He ain't packing a gun.
Well, we ain't taking no chances. Get him away from this wagon.
You heard?
Now, would you mind telling me what this is all about?
Did you meet anybody on the road today?
No, you're the 3 days.
My old man always said shoot first and ask questions after.
What brings you to this town?
I heard Shiloh was deserted, and I was just poking around looking for gold.
Well, you're wrong on both counts. It ain't deserted and there ain't no gold.
Insinuating that strangers aren't wanted?
That's right. Now get going.
Well, Henry, I guess it's time to go. Reach for the sky. I don't start anything because my nose is itchy and it makes my fingers twitch.
Get their guns, Henry.
Okay, Tim.
Tim Toomey. See, what'd I tell you? Shoot first and ask questions after. My old man was right. What are you covering up here?
Are you Tim Toomey?
Do I look like him?
Well, he said you were.
So what? Now, which one of you is going to do the talking? Watch these fellows, Henry. Oh, so it's you again. Who are you, anyway?
Natalie Brent.
Brent. Looking for your father?
Yes, I am. Where is he?
What made you think you'd find him in a ghost town where no one's lived for years?
I won't tell you.
The bond robbery?
My thief.
The failure of motors on the mail pins, though, made you think he might be here, eh? Now, you stay in there till I come back.
Well, Alice, I reckon you're wrong on this film. Oh, I apologize. We're back. Just having a little fun, and Alice is not liking me picking on her for this film. Well, Alice, I don't know if we're going to see any ghosts. Maybe like a cowboy patrol. But, yeah, I think this is more of a Western, Alice. And where is Bubbles? Bubbles doesn't... Two things she says. Bubbles doesn't like Westerns, which me and Alice aren't the biggest fans of either. And Bubbles is afraid of horses, which Alice says that's the one part of the film that she likes is the horses. She likes how they gallop and their stride. Okay, Alice. But I can see there's a little bit of sci-fi in this film. Very little, Alice says. I agree. Where there's a machine that can disrupt planes to make them crash, and they're mainly doing that with planes that have very, very expensive goods, bonds, or just plain money on them. And unfortunately, the pilots are usually at their final demise. But not Tim. He did make it, so... very big cowboy hat he has. Way bigger than mine. That hat is kind of silly. It is indeed. It's like the man with the yellow hat, you say. Oh, yeah. It's black and white. Maybe it was yellow. Who knows? But, yeah. The female actress, in this film, Claudia Dell, plays Natalie Brent, the daughter of the inventor of the machine. And she's pretty smart. When she got locked in that room, she took like I don't know if it was like a broom handle or whatever, and she poked at underneath the door and got the wedged chair out of there and escaped. Yes, very smart indeed. You do like her because she seems like she can take care of herself. Very well, very well. But yes, this is the first time we've had a Western on this show of Spine Chilling Cinema, and I don't really know what to think. I feel bad for Bubbles and for you, Alice, and for myself, because I'm just not a big Westerns fan. But maybe you are, so let us get back to tonight's film, Alice. Do we have to? Yes, we do. Let's get it over with, she says. Oh, boy. Well, anyways, from 1936, the Western/mild sci-fi film, Ghost Patrol.
Better talk and talk fast.
A couple of miles out of town.
Well, you're taking me there.
Yeah, you and who else?
Some of my boys, of course. They're handy if I need them.
You're crazy. If we done anything like that, the boss would murder us.
What do you think I'll do to you if you don't?
Well, you got the bonds. What else do you want?
A cut in on your racket. I know you fellas got a way of knocking these mail planes down. And you know in advance when they're carrying anything worth taking.
We gotta give us time to talk this over.
All right, but don't do anything foolish, because I'll watch you. That girl we picked up on the road is Brent's daughter. She's locked up in the closet in one of the rooms.
Listen, Toomey will kill us if we don't do what he tells us.
Our only chance is to lead him to the hideout and let the boys take care of him.
That's a good idea.
If you figuring on taking your boys along if we do what you want?
What difference does that make?
There's always a lookout up at our place. If we go up there with a bunch trailing us, well, looks like it couldn't be nothing but a pitched battle.
Well, there's something to that. I'll go along with these fellas. You get in touch with the boys and trail us.
Okay, Tim. We got some horses right over there.
Just a minute.
Over there's where we're going.
Who's the brains of your outfit?
Dawson, and he's plenty smart.
It's Shorty, Frank, Raymond, and Mac, but I don't know the other fellow that's with them.
Sure it ain't Dawson?
Sure I am. Here, take a look. He must be okay, or the boys wouldn't be bringing him here.
Yeah? How do we know he ain't holding a gun on him? Hey, you boys lie low and keep him covered. I don't like the looks of this.
This is a gent you all heard about, Kincaid, Tim Toomey.
Oh, I'm glad to know you. You look it. But don't worry, I'm harmless.
Tim didn't want to bring his boys along, afraid you fellas mightn't understand.
What does he mean, your boys? They're waiting for me back down there a ways. Oh, I see. Then he didn't come here on business. Well, business and pleasure combined. Just a little friendly visit to look things over. How do we know he ain't running the bluff? I never bluff.
Who is this man? What's he doing here?
I can answer that all in one breath. Tim Toomey's the name, if that means anything to you. I suppose you're Dawson.
I might have guessed there was only one man in the West with nerve enough to do what you've done. I don't mean getting those bonds away from that thick-headed fool, Charlie. That wasn't so much of a trick. But to walk in here single-handed, that's
Just
really...
a minute, Dawson. You ain't got the straight of this. No living man can walk in here the way he did and get away with it, even if he is Tim Toomey.
It wasn't him alone that made us mark time. He's got a lot of men waiting close by, in case he don't come out of here alive. So we've been kind of waiting for you to see how you want to play the hand. Well, now that you're here, come on inside. Sit down.
Thanks. Well, no, thanks. Say, these are pretty comfortable quarters you've got here.
Well, what's on your mind?
This racket of yours. I was thinking you and I might get together.
Is there any reason why we should?
Several.
Really? What are they?
In the first place, you've proved you can't work alone. Letting those male pilots live was a great mistake. They should have been found dead in the wreckage of their planes. That way, no one could suspect it was anything but an accident. In that case, these might be worth some real money. As it is, they're not worth a dime on the dollar.
Quite interesting.
Then there's Brent.
Who?
How long do you think you're going to be able to keep him under cover? You know, you ought to watch your publicity a little closer. These newspaper clippings here, well, they cause me to do a lot of tall thinking, and they're liable to affect somebody else the same way.
I haven't the slightest idea what you're talking about.
You've made so many mistakes. One of the G-men that haven't been on your neck long ago.
Maybe they're not as clever as you are.
Maybe that's the reason they haven't been able to put a finger on me all the years I've been operating.
Any other reasons you'd like to mention?
Several. But there's no use discussing them here. You know the value of this arrangement I'm suggesting. With you and me handling those planes and my men looking after things in town, wouldn't be any slip-up. It's a natural.
Sounds pretty good.
Say, I'd like to know how you knocked those planes down. That's a swell racket.
Well, if we get together on a deal, you'll find out how it's done. In the next day or so, there's a big shipment of currency going to New York. And the plane will pass close by here. Suppose you call your boys in and we'll go into it.
That won't be necessary. Any deal I make is satisfactory.
It's a fellow to see you, Tommy.
Any of the boys with you?
No, but they're getting mighty nervous. They're just about ready to blow this place off the map unless you show up pretty soon.
Oh, I'll take care of them. It's going to be a pleasure to work with a man like you.
It goes for me, too. I'll see you later when your boys get here.
Right.
What do you think of him? Did anyone see anything of his men?
No, Blackie said the only one they saw was the man that just left with him.
That's funny. A bunch of horses ought to be easy to see.
You mean they may be alone, that nobody was with them?
I told you Toomey had plenty of nerve, didn't I?
I'll start some of the boys riding.
Where's Miss Brent?
That's what I ought to know.
Didn't you find her?
I searched every room and closet in that hotel. All I could find was a shortwave radio set.
Is it working?
Perfectly.
Well, then you get right back and call headquarters. Tell them to send a plane out here with 5 or 6 men in it right away.
Well, where am I going to find you?
Oh, I'll be around. Brent's hidden around here somewhere. I'm going to try to locate him.
Hurry up. Give me that gun. Get over behind that tree. Hurry up. Come on, put your arms around that tree. Put them around the tree. Get off of that horse. Come on, get off of there. Give me that gun. Get over there. Hurry up. Come on, get your arms around that tree. Come on. Come on, get in there, hurry up. USX. Calling USX. On 12 meters. Calling USX. Come in, USX. Come in, USX.
USX, go ahead.
Brownlee and Cavalry reporting. Have located the cause of plane crashes in Shiloh Mountains. Send a plane with about 6 men to a deserted house about 2 miles from Shiloh. They can see it from the air.
Okay, right away.
Right.
Don't shoot, I'm unarmed.
Who are you? Are you Jotham Brent?
You know my name?
I'm from the Department of Justice. We've been trying to locate you. Was that Ray stop a motor at a distance?
Yes.
Then it's your Ray that's been knocking down these planes.
Dawson operated the machine.
How did he about it?
I brought him here to help me with my experiments.
Still stalling with that gadget you're trying to fix?
I'm doing the best I can.
Well, you better look everything over careful. Dawson don't want you saying this time that something won't work.
You looking for someone, miss?
Well, yes, a man named Brent. Do you know him?
Well, who might you be?
I'm Natalie. Jotham Brent is my father.
Oh, well, come with me, miss.
Then he's here?
Why, yes, of course.
Has Brent discovered what's wrong with these apparatus?
No, he's still trying to fix it.
You think I wouldn't show up again?
Why, I thought you were...
Yeah, I'm not a ghost. I'll tell you about it later. Hey, Brent's daughter's outside.
Brent's daughter?
Yeah, I met her down the road. She's looking for her father.
Bring her in.
Come in, Brent.
Well, I'm glad Charlie saw you. Did your father send for you?
Well, no, he didn't, but I was anxious not hearing from him for so long.
Well, we don't have mailboxes on every corner out this way.
Where is he?
Busy in his laboratory. I'll take you to him in just a minute.
Say, aren't you one of the men I saw in Shiloh?
Oh, the time Tim Toomey held us up?
Hey, when did Toomey have a gun on you?
Why, he showed up in Shiloh like you said he would with a gang of men and stuck us up.
When?
Oh, about a couple of weeks after he shot you.
Why, you're crazy. Toomey gunned me all right, but the G's got him before he could make a getaway. Toomey's in jail in Los Angeles. Here's the proof of it.
Well, well. This is news. Toomey will be glad to hear it.
Yeah. Won't he?
See if you can find Tim. Give him my compliments and say I'd like to see him. Requires me to learn he's from the Department of Justice. Come on, Miss Brent. We'll go and see your father.
Go. And all the time they've held you prisoner, you'll never let them know how the apparatus works?
It would be a horrible weapon in the hands of unscrupulous men.
Your best bet is to... They ask. They think I'm a gangster named Toomey, so I can work from the inside.
Dad.
Darling.
Why, you're a prisoner here. Who is this man?
Why, you're entirely mistaken. We're not holding your father prisoner. We're just protecting him. Aren't we, Brent?
Yes, that's right, Natalie.
Why, there's nothing to worry about. Your father can walk out of here anytime he pleases. That is, just as soon as he completes a little business deal we're in together.
That's true.
Don't you think we can finish up our business pretty quick now? There's a plane coming over this afternoon.
Why, they're using your radium ray to rob and kill. There were women and children on that first plane that crashed.
They told me they were only the pilots and that they had parachutes.
Oh, Why, the young lady's had a little too much excitement. She ought to rest. Now, you go through with our program, get that thing working, and everything will be all right.
I only have another adjustment to make. It won't take long.
Fine. Now you're talking sense. You come with me?
Where does that door lead?
To the living room in the house. Dawson's holding Brent's daughter at the house.
There's a plane coming over.
It's a little early. Get Brent working.
Hey, Tim. Just the man I'm looking for.
What's on your mind? Dawson wants to see you.
That's fine. I want to see him, too.
He's in the house.
Keep your hands in the air and don't reach for that gun now. Here, Henry. Take care of him.
Oh, there you are, Tim. I've been waiting to see you.
So I understood.
Come on, sit down. Contact your men all right?
Yes, they were waiting for me.
Bring them with you?
They'll be along in a little while.
Well, while we're waiting, will you take a look at this? It's really quite interesting. You ought to sue that paper for libel, Tim. Saying that you're in jail when we all know you're here.
Looks like the joke's on me, doesn't it?
Oh, I wouldn't say it's a joke. Get him up. All right, Charlie, come in.
That plane we saw is a government ship.
Better shut off that projector. Better get it started again. It's just too bad, Copper. You're a little bit too late. Dolly, take care of him. Start that ray. Come on, get it started.
him to a safe place and then cover the mine entrance. You stay here. Put the handcuffs on these fellows. Come on, hurry up, hurry up. Henry will show you the others are. Come on, hurry up. Come on. Young man, I don't know who you are, but I sure am grateful.
Dad, I want you to meet Mr. Would you mind giving me your name?
Not at all. If you would just name the date.
Welcome back. And that was the conclusion to tonight's film from 1936, Ghost Patrol. Yes, Alice, I know you are disappointed in the film. There were some things you liked, like the horses. Yes, indeed. But there was a happy ending. You were hoping that all of them would have crashed in a plane. Wow, Alice. Except for Natalie and the horses. Okay. You didn't like Tim McCoy. You don't like cowboys. Okay. Oh boy, maybe I should take this hat off. But anyways, a little bit about this film before we go into the review and ranking. Alice. Tim McCoy in many westerns. Quintessential cowboy. He was also on a Wheaties box. Yes, indeed. And on top of that, he is in the Cowboy Hall of Fame. Big whoop, Alice says. Oh, boy. And he also has a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That's ridiculous, she says. Well, maybe he's a good actor. It's just we don't like westerns too much, Alice. That's probably why we are acting a little differently. And Claudia Dell. Yes, indeed. She was a showgirl. Oh, Alice. Alice is like, but that was 30 years ago when they used to have a show. Oh, boy. Well, at least you're having some comedy going on. And Claudia was also in many films as well. But review and ranking time of this film. I will go first, Alice. And I will say, for being a Western, it wasn't too bad. I found it funny how Tim shot his gun. He kind of like whipped it when he shot it. I don't know if that, to me, that would not be very accurate, I don't think, but whatever. The editing wasn't too bad. I don't know. Not a horrible Western, especially since I'm not a fan of Westerns. I've probably said that about a million times now. So I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10, Alice. What about you? You only liked the horses and Natalie. Everything else was pretty blah. You did like the invention, though, when it kind of had like the electrical stuff going on. So what do you give this film? A 4 out of 10 shovels. Pretty low. So Alice is saying it's not worth seeing, basically. Oh, boy. But Alice says she's here to save the day. As always, well, not always, but most of the time, Alice picks out a cartoon for you so you don't have nightmares if the film was too scary or it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, or like Alice says, if it's a Western, and if you don't like Westerns, hopefully you like the cartoon. So, without further ado, we should end the show, Alice, and as always, thank you for starting your weekend right with a fright or a Western on Spine Chilling Cinema. And as always, we cannot wait to see you again.